Our first matter is a continued discovery matter in Frank and Karen Roberts versus Shelby and Chester Parr. Parrs are here by Zoom. Mr. and Mrs. Roberts are here in the courtroom. I was informed last week that Miss Parr had paid the damages in full, and I thought the matter was resolved. Maybe I'm mistaken.
They were 3 months late on their payment.
All right.
And
Well,
so we decided to come back here and get,
all right. Well, I thought it had been, has the matter been paid off, or you still owe money?
we are asking for costs for this
Hearing?
Well,
Yeah.
the court cost, the court costs and the
and the processor.
processors and.
I see. So you set the hearing, then she paid it off, but didn't pay the costs.
You know, we was gonna add this on the court costs and stuff, and the gals out there said, well, you'll have to talk to the judge. You'll come back and talk to him about that, so. That's the reason we're here.
All right. All right, Ms. Parr, was it your belief that you had paid everything off with that final payment?
Yes, everything was paid in full. When I turned the receipts into your court last Wednesday, the lady said that she would send this information to you and to see if this case would get dismissed or not. We didn't hear anything, so that's why we're here today.
Well, I thought it was dismissed until this morning.
Nobody told us.
Apparently, all right, well, I didn't realize it. When the Robertses asked for an additional discovery hearing, you could only ask for one every 6 months. And so they asked for one, and then they apparently had some costs involved with asking for the hearing. After the hearing was set, you paid the matter off. Mrs. Roberts, what are your remaining unpaid costs?
$184.
Which is what?
Court cost was $103. And she missed the payment back in August or in April. She didn't pay. So we charged her 10% on that 1 month for $900 and some for 1 month. But for 10, it cost $10 for that. And then she didn't pay for the last 3 months. And that was $21.66, I figured.
Well, where did you get that figure? Just pull it out of the air?
Well,
You told us.
finance, you know, we pay interest when we, on our credit card and everything else.
Yes, so you were
What?
charging 10% interest?
That's what the bank would charge on a.
Well, but that isn't the same as money market interest or judgment interest in a court case. All right,
Finance,
So-
well,
so
Well-
$103 of this is court costs.
yeah,
And then what does that entail? Filing for the hearing and then the service fee?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then $181 is interest?
No,
no, the interest come to $30.
Well, you told me they owed $184. That
Well,
does,
I wrote down $25. We was over here 2 or 3 times. I wrote down $25 for I and Granny coming over. I thought
well,
that
you
was-
didn't have to do that. All you had to do was, you had a judgment. You could have garnished their wages, you could
we
have
didn't
seized
have that
property.
information.
Well, that's what the discovery hearing was about, to ask them the information about garnishing their wages. But you don't get your incidental costs. I will give you some interest, but you can't calculate it at 10%. It's something like 5.8% as current judgment interest rate. Might have to look at the most recent bar journal.
Well, instead of-
Mr. and Mrs. Parr, I'm sure you just want this all to be over.
Yes.
Yeah, this
well,
is getting out of control.
How much is it gonna cost me not to have to deal with these people ever again? That's what I need to know, Judge.
It's gonna cost you $143.
I'll pay it on Thursday.
I'll pay it Thursday and we'll be done. Do I pay it directly to the courthouse or do I do a money order to them like we have in the past?
You do a money order to them.
All right, thank
What
you,
is
Your
it?
Honor. Money order.
What is it? The total?
What was that total again?
$143.
All right,
$103 in court costs and $40 in interest.
fine.
Thank you.
And the matter will be done.
Thank
Yes,
you.
This was the hardest case I had, and it took
You
a
ain't
long
welcome.
time to get it through, and we're still resolving it. And they want to be made completely whole, $143. You'll be paid off, cost, interest, no incidental costs,
Done.
and you'll be done. You'll send a money order. I'm certain that they'll pay it. You'll probably get the check by Saturday.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
All right, that brings final conclusion to this.
Thank you.
And you can go on with your affairs and you can go on with yours and hopefully you won't have to come see me. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
thank you.
All right, now they're gone. Did we have a new case with a new tenant in that property?
No,
No,
Okay, so this will bring closure to the whole thing.
yeah.
All right, very good. $103 in costs. I'll have $40 worth of interest, 143. Defendant will pay that by money order. You expect to get it Saturday. Of course, the mail's not too fast. I'll send the money on Thursday. All right, hopefully this will be the last time you have to come over to Centerville too. You got better things to do with your time than this.
yeah,
All right,
Okay.
you're good to go.
thank you.
Can I ask you a question on
Yes.
the record?
Yes, off the record?
Yeah.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. We're starting off with a bang here. I had a 115 hearing and the defendant or the plaintiff wanted me to shut everything off so she could tell me that she was unhappy with my ruling. But we're back up and we're ready to go. We've got a lot to do and we'll do the best we can. First case set is Golden Pond versus Kristen Wallace, Tara Lynch, and Everett Valin Court. I don't see anybody that represents those parties. Two of the parties were personally served and one was served by substitution. This is a demand for non-payment of rent case. And I've got Casey Villa from Golden Pond here. Good afternoon, Mr. Cromendike.
Good afternoon.
Ms. Villa, are these tenants still there?
Yes, Sir Honor.
I would do a default, Mr. Cromendike, but I don't have personal service on all three defendants.
I think we did request a second mailing, which
Let's take a look. Yes, we have it. All right. What's the current arrearage?
current arrearage is $2,676.86 in rent, utilities, and late fees. And then additionally, we have $232.20 in court costs for a total balance of $2,909.06.
All right, let's break out utilities and late out of that 2676 cost.
All right, yeah, I'll give you, and I'll give you rent as well, just so we round it out. So I've got
Yeah.
rent outstanding in the amount of $1,975.
All
We've
right.
got utilities And this also includes a returned check fee in the amount of $501.86. And we have late fees in the amount of $200.
And this is lot only, correct?
That's correct. Yep, lot rent. So we've got 5 months of lot rent outstanding at $395 a month. We've got 5 months of utilities, and we've got 4 late fees because the November late fee has not kicked in yet.
All right, I don't have a judgment, but it would be helpful if I do.
We will submit
But,
one right away.
All right, let's go through that. Rent is $1,975, utilities and check fee are $501.86, late fees is $200 and $232.20 in costs. Total of $2,909. 10 days from today is November the 13th, which would give the authority to remove the trailer. And I still don't know whether you're entitled to do this. All of the companies are doing it. I'm one of the counties that allows it because it gives the tenant an opportunity to redeem it. What are you doing in the counties that don't allow it, like Livingston and others that don't allow this method?
That don't allow a non-payment of rent suit to
Yes, for
proceed in the
Lotto,
mobile
for
home park?
Lotto.
I honestly, I have not experienced that yet. I haven't been in Livingston.
There are some others also. I'm not sure that you can do it in Ingham either. All right, if you'd submit a judgment via email,
We will get one sent in right away.
I will indicate that per manager defendants are still there. All right, you're good to go. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Your Honor.
Elaine, would you call Mr. Cromendike back, please? Miss Lentz, would you join us, please? Can you hear me? Miss Lentz,
Yes,
you're late for your own hearing. We already had the hearing and the attorney just checked out and you checked in. It's very frustrating. So we have to get him back here. I just did an order of eviction, giving you 10 days to move out because you don't show up on time for your own hearing.
I was struggling to get into the Zoom thing. I'm not very good with
Yes.
it.
All right, well, stay there. The time to practice isn't 5 minutes before the hearing.
Well, I called and
All right, just a minute. I'll put you in the waiting room. That's very frustrating because we're very crunched for time. Let's find out who this is. Which means everything we just did was a waste of time. All right, I've got somebody here that's a telephone number. Who am I speaking with?
Linda Kirby.
All right, you're also late, but you are here, so thank you. Can you come in other than by telephone?
No, sir, I'm disabled.
All right, give me a minute. I've got somebody else here. Elaine, I'm not able to get through to Mr. Cromendike's office.
Your Honor, if I may,
Yes,
Jody Sparks and Kelly Vance are both sides in my case.
all right, let's take up your case. Here's Mr. Cromendike.
He's going to Zoom back.
He just did, thank you. Mr. Cromendike, thank you for coming back.
Can I have 1 second? I need to go grab my file back. Just
Well,
give me
I'm
one
gonna
minute.
I'm gonna skip ahead, but they
Okay.
showed up late, just as you logged out, they logged in. So everything we did during that time period was a total waste of time. So we'll take it up here in just a moment, but go ahead and get your file and I'll call another case.
All right.
Thank you for coming back.
Yeah.
Ours should go fairly quickly, Your Honor.
All right, well, give me a minute. Let's take up, Miss Sanchez and Miss Kirby are here, but I'm gonna jump ahead to yours. This is Eish Investments versus Jody Sparks and others. File number is 251988LT. We had a previous hearing in this matter 14 days ago on October 20th, and the matter was adjourned till today. Mr. Agnes, what's the status here today?
Your Honor, I think the parties have somewhat of an agreement at this point in time. There's $1,099 owed, but that pays rent through the end of November. Their costs of $176.32 totals $1,275.32, and I believe that Ms. Sparks is planning on making payment arrangements directly with each, hopefully before the end of the year, so they're trying to get that resolved. I would indicate though that on the judgment, I have Sturgis, Michigan, and the property's actually in Baroque. So you may want to change that.
What's the zip code in Borough?
49040.
49030.
All right, Ms. Sparks, did you hear everything that Mr. Agnes said through November? Rent is $1,099.
Yes,
You agree with that?
yes,
Court costs are $176.32. The total is $1,275.32. All right, that gives you 10 days from today to move or be subject to being evicted. I'm going to address that in a minute. It's November 13th. Partial payment will not prevent a writ of eviction, and we're not having any money judgments at this hearing. Miss Kirby, you've got some background noise here that's causing disruption.
I'm sorry.
A radio or something. Anyway, Miss Sparks.
I was starting to the heater. It's what he was here.
No, it wasn't.
Okay.
I told you before, they don't have to ask for the writ on November 13th. They can actually, they have 56 days from today to ask for the writ and then 56 more days to work with it before they serve it. So that's 112 days of discretion that the landlord has. So they can agree with some sort of repayment plan, but they don't have to. They can work with you on an agreement to get caught up on this rent, and it sounds like that's what the plan is. Do you agree?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
And Ms. Vance, you agree?
Yes, that's correct.
All right, I'll enter this judgment, $1,255.32. 75.32, excuse me. 1,275.32. All right, Mr. Rognes, thank you for sending me a judgment. We'll go forward from there.
Thank you, Your
All
Honor.
right, you're all good to go. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, let's take up Sanchez and Kirby, and then we'll come back to Lynch. Those people had to wait in line because Miss Lynch was late, so we'll go back to this one. But I'm going to tell everybody, including you, Miss Lynch, and Miss Kirby. I'm going to remove Miss Sparks. That you have certain rights as a landlord tenant. Sanchez and Kirby is a termination of tenancy, and Wallace is a non-payment of rent. Miss Kirby, your landlord simply wants you to move. You have the right to hire an attorney. If you cannot pay for one, you must give the court, or you may seek assistance from legal aid, or other legal assistance. Normally, our legal aid attorney is here. I expect what she's doing right now is she's on the way driving here to deal with some other matters. But you can contact legal aid or seek other legal advice. You have a right to have the case heard here in St. Joseph County where the property is located. You have the right to have a jury trial. If you wish to have a jury trial, you must tell the court at this first court appearance or be prepared to file the demand in writing within 5 days of this date and pay the jury demand fee. All right, you may be able to ask the judge to waive that jury demand fee if you're unable to pay it. If your landlord has asked you to be evicted from a residential property because you haven't paid rent, you may be able to get assistance from the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services, a Housing Assessment and Resource Agency, a Federal Help for Homeless Veterans Program, and we sent that information to you with the original summons and complaint. You do not need a judgment against you to get assistance from the places listed above. A copy of the summons and complaint from your case are sufficient. You may be able to reach an agreement with the landlord by going through mediation. If both parties are interested, the court can assist with that. And you may be able to reach an agreement with the landlord that means the case would get dismissed through what's called a conditional order of dismissal. And if we'll either assist in filing that or the attorney will file. Miss Kirby, can you hear me?
I can.
All right, your landlord, Mr. and Mrs. Sanchez are here. And this is a property on 5th Street in Burr Oak, and they want you to move out. They filed a notice to quit on August 13th, and they're asking you to move from the property. Is that correct, Ms. Sanchez?
Yes.
What's your position?
If I may, sir, if
Yes.
you can see there on the lease, Judge Middleton, Roger Robinson is also on there. He's the main person that we rented the home out to. Then Mrs. Kirby was going to move in. So everything was fine until we started getting complaints from Mr. Roger Robinson that Mrs. Kirby is smoking and doing other stuff inside the home where there are young kids. So he did not like that, and he asked if that he had told her several times that she needed to stop that or she needed to move out. I believe Mr. Robinson tried to file for her to move out, but they told him that the landlords had to file for it.
That is correct. A tenant can't evict a co-tenant.
Yeah, so I believe Mr. Robinson gave her plenty of time and telling her to, to stop doing that because there was children in the home, and she did not. So then that's whenever we.
All right, well, I know your name, but would you state it for the record? You're not on the complaint.
Yeah, Santana.
What's your name?
Santana Longoria Jr.
Spell your last name.
Longoria, Longoria.
And you're a co-owner with Ms. Sanchez?
Yes.
All right. Ms. Kirby, they want you to move, and apparently your co-tenant wants you to move. What's your position?
I rented the house with Roger at the same time. I moved in the same time they did almost 2 years ago. Since then, in the home, they have let several people move in and out and cause trouble and things like that. Let me see the date. Let me look. August 13th, they let a man named Chase Schaefer and his wife move in and 3 kids. Well, this gentleman on the 13th physically assaulted me, and I charged him and put him in jail for assault, for domestic violence. Well, the 17th, 4 days after that, Roger and them took out the eviction notice. They are revengeful evicting me. There was no reason. I've not smoked in the home. I don't smoke. I've had open heart surgery. I'm disabled. I don't know what else to do. I'm looking for a place to go, but I'm working with Neighborhoods Inc. I'm doing everything I can to get out.
Yeah.
But since all this has took place, they've turned off my electricity twice. They've removed my refrigerator. They've shut off the gas for the stove. I've never missed a payment on rent. Never. Nothing. I just don't know what else to do.
All right,
willing
just
to
a
move.
minute.
I've just got to have the time.
Just a minute. You got a lot going on here. You're on the lease,
Yes.
16th of November, 2024. So,
Yes.
I believe it was a 1-year lease. After February of 25, it became a month-to-month lease. So they gave you more than a month's notice to move. Now, the only one they're moving to evict
And
is
you know
you.
what?
Everybody on the
Exactly.
lease is, stop. Only one person can talk at a time. When you're only here by telephone, it's difficult. So you wait till I'm done speaking and then you can speak. All right, so they're evicting only you. They served a notice to quit on you, but not Roger Robinson or Keisha Cutler. You're saying they moved a whole nother family in the apartment?
Yes. Actually, 3 more families
In the same unit,
in the same house. Yes.
225th Street?
Yes.
Who moved them in?
Roger and Keisha, the same ones who are trying to evict me for putting one of them in jail for assault. And he was found guilty.
Just a minute, Miss Sanchez, did you know that other families were also living in there?
No, we did not. All I know that whenever we told Roger that he needed to try Victor by himself, after he came back, told us that he couldn't. I told him, and he actually went to the door and told Mrs. Kirby, saying, "Hey, you need to call Santana. He needs to talk to you to see what's going on." I have never received rent from. I'm not saying that Mrs. Kirby has not paid Roger. I'm just saying that Roger has always been the one that's paid me. Roger has never stated that other people have moved in there. If they did, we were unaware. But I do know that I did ask Roger, because I didn't have Mrs. Kirby's phone number. I said, "Hey, can you please go to the knock on her door and tell her that she needs to get a hold of me so we can figure out what we're going to do."
I have never received any notice to contact him.
She never
All right,
did.
the lease says no guests of the tenants may occupy the property for longer than 1 week without prior written consent of the landlord. So you indicate that several people had moved in. And who are the 3 different families that moved in?
Missy and Chase Shaford and their 3 children. And then there is a gentleman that's living in the basement. His name is Herman. I don't know his last name. And then there is Keisha's brother, which his name is Cody. He lives here. And they have all moved in since we rented the place.
Sounds like you should evict everybody, as far as I can tell. You got undocumented tenants in there. I don't disbelieve her. I believe Herman's in the basement and Cody is also living there. Now you're moving only to evict her under the expiration of the lease on a simple notice to quit. She also indicated they shut off the gas and the electricity. So let's talk about that. Miss Kirby, who shut off the gas?
Roger did. He's also the one who shut off the electricity. Just for my 2 rooms, just for my part. He kept it on for the rest of the house. He went downstairs to the breaker box and shut everything off, knowing that I can't get
So the
down.
landlord didn't, but the co-tenant shut off your utilities.
Yes. He says he's my landlord, so he can do what he wants.
He's not your landlord. And you don't smoke?
I used to, but I don't anymore. It's been 4 months or longer.
All right. Mr. Santana and Ms. Sanchez, you got a tiger by the tail here. You got a tenant who is exercising domain as a landlord and violating the anti-lockout law. You can't shut off her power. You can't shut off her gas. There could be substantial sanctions. There's no allegation that you did it, but I believe her that it was done. She's not under oath. Also, I believe her that there's at least two other authorized tenants presently living in there and that he's collecting money from, including this tenant. So you're moving to evict only her on the simple theory that her lease is expired. She claims retaliatory eviction. The other tenant asked you to evict her. So this whole thing is on shaky ground. I would consider evicting everybody, but I'm reluctant to sanction just this tenant. I'm going to continue this to next week. It doesn't appear that you allege any specific violation by this tenant. It's simply you're contending this is a month-to-month lease. And that isn't even clear. It just says
I didn't
lease
know that.
16th of February. It doesn't say when it expires. This is a very poor lease. I've talked to you guys about this before. You're going to be in the landlord tenant business. You need to get better at it.
Judge, I'm certainly available to speak with the defendant should the court find that appropriate. You just have me lined up with me.
All right. Our representative from Legal Aid has arrived. Laura or Elaine, would you open the Zoom conference room?
Judge, I can take her phone number down.
All right.
Don't you?
If she wants to speak to legal aid, but I don't want to solicit her.
Well, would you like to speak to the attorney from Legal Aid?
If I need to, yes, because like I said, I can't go anywhere till I can find somewhere to go.
Yes. I'm going to continue this until 2:15. Next Monday, November 10th. There's multiple problems. They're evicting only one person on the lease. The lease isn't clear, but I'm construing it as a month-to-month lease. But the lease doesn't say what the rental period is. It doesn't say how much the rent is. It doesn't say when it expires. I can't even tell how much the monthly rent is by looking at this lease. Subject to provisions of lease, apart from the tenant and the tenant's immediate family members, no other persons will live in the property without the prior written permission of the landlord. No animals are allowed to be kept in the property. Ms. Kirby, are there any animals there?
Oh, yes. There's like 6 dogs, a rabbit, 5 cats. It's unreal. I have my dog as well, but my dog is a service pet.
Boy, all right, this is a mess. This is a very poor lease. They're violating about 6 different ways. He's got the gall to ask you to simply evict her when he's got people living in there off book. He's got animals in there. You haven't inspected your property very well. Maybe I ought to go over there and see what's going on.
The place is infested. It's infested with rats. It's infested with roaches. It's so nasty you can't even walk through. I fell 2 weeks ago and broke 3 ribs and my chest plate because of the mess trying to walk through the house.
Well, it sounds like you need to get out of there. This is in Burr Oak, and they don't have very good zoning enforcement. This was in Three Rivers or Sturgis. They might not be able to rent it in that condition.
I am working with Neighborhoods Inc. and through DHS and everybody Section 8. I just haven't found anywhere to go yet. I have been approved. I have to find a place.
Well, I have that same problem every week. People would move if they had somewhere to move to. All right, which is your first case today?
I think it might be Melinda Wilson versus August Crimmis.
Which is about what I'm about to go to. So I'm gonna give you legal aid's phone number. We got behind because we're way behind now. Somebody showed up late. In this case, had a whole bunch of problems with it. So we're substantially behind, but do you have something to write on, Miss Kirby?
I do.
All right. Your number, Ms. Bauer?
Ms. Kirby, I'm gonna give you my direct dial. It's area code 269. Area code 269 366 3388.
And your name is?
Meg, MEG.
Okay.
All right. Otherwise, we're going to revisit this next Monday at 2:15.
Okay. Hey, Your Honor, just real quick. It's not that I don't believe Mrs. Kirby. The only thing is that I could say is they did, Roger did do a video call with me where he put my number and slid it under her door. I was unaware about the gas situation and
All right, well, a couple things. Your name's not even on this complaint. It's all in the Yesenia's name. So if you're going to want to speak about this right now, you're practicing law without a license.
Do you have the same one that I have? My name's on the lease.
It's on the lease, but it's not on the lawsuit.
Okay,
the lawsuit is only in the Yesenia's name.
In the Yesenia's name. I see what you're saying.
And so it's a mess. You'd be better off if you drop the case and start it all over to evict everybody. But there's multiple problems with this case, not the least of which is you don't have the authority to speak. You don't have any more authority to speak on this than somebody standing on the corner outside. You own the property, but you can't represent her as an attorney and you're not on the complaint. You can represent yourself, but you can't represent her. So Yesenia, you're going to have to speak when we come back next week.
Okay.
But my advice would be to start all over again. And secondarily, to get a better lease. This one is very poor. I can't even tell how much the rent is. One thing you may wish to do is go over there, inspect the property and see what's going on. How many dogs are there? How many people are there? How many rats are there? I don't know. Anyway, we'll revisit this next week at 2:15.
Can I get can I have a translated for next meet?
Yeah, we'll try to get one.
All right.
The easiest thing would be to put Santana's name on the complaint. You guys are in way over your head. You don't have good English. You're not violent. You have a terrible lease. It costs us hundreds of dollars to have an interpreter here, but we will attempt to have one next week. All right, thank you. My suggestion is you dismiss this and start over again, but that's up to you. Anyway, I'll see you next week. Need interpreter.
All right, thank you.
Okay,
Now,
what does this mean?
for your patience, and for everybody else, thank you for your patience as well. In fact, it's worse than you know. I have about 10 criminal arraignments to do sometime here this afternoon. Miss Lynch is here. She was late for her hearing. We conducted it and then she showed up. So Mr. Cromendike is back.
Excuse me, am I done? What, I don't understand what happened.
Miss Lynch?
Yes.
No, we're about to take up your case.
I believe that was Miss Kirby, Your Honor.
Oh,
Yes.
Miss Kirby, you're good to go. Yes, I'll remove you.
Okay.
It's
And
hard when you
I
just
come
by
back
telephone.
next month.
All right, thank you. Miss Lance, who's there with you?
Everett, Valin.
With Everett Valancourt.
I apologize.
All right, I went through the rights and I guess you had an opportunity to hear them. This is a demand for non-payment of rent on your lot only. Mr. Cromendike contends that the rent through November is $1,975. Utilities and a bounce check fee are $501.86. And the late fee is $200. So that adds up to $2,676.86. We also have an additional $232.20 in court costs. The total amount due through November is $2,909. Do you agree with that or disagree?
Somewhat, yes.
All right, what's your plan? Do you wish to stay there or move?
I really wish to stay here for now.
Do you have any ability to pay?
I have my Social Security check and Mr. Valancourt's Social Security check. And the welfare office told me to wait for an eviction notice. I've been trying to get them to help me, and I've also been working with neighborhood to try to help me. Is there any way I can get that total again?
Say that again?
Is there any way that I can get that total again?
Yes, 2,909.06. Now, DHS is doing that. I tell people you do not need a judgment against you to get rid of eviction. But DHS says, we'll get the judgment of eviction and then we'll give you some help.
Yeah.
The law requires that I adjourn this matter at least 7 days, which will take us to next Monday. Mr. Cromendike, I think you're already here next Monday. Let me look.
Yeah, I believe I've got one at 2:10, it looks like.
I'm gonna set this for 2:20. Now, this is a non-payment of rent on your lot. You own the trailer?
Yeah. I use my inheritance to get it.
Now, also on the lease is Kristen Wallace. Where is she?
She moved out months ago, and I asked them to let them know, and they should have wrote me a new contract, but they did not. I put a work order in, and they've not responded to that. And there's just all kinds of things. And the eviction notice, they said we were paid up until May 31st. We were paid up until July 1st. Their service fee that they put in the lease is not what they charged from day one. And the day that I was late, they increased the service fee. There's just a lot of inconsistencies with like I had 2 late fees in July, but then they took one off. And everything, and not much of it makes sense. My water bill has never changed from having 5 people in my home to 2. So I don't know.
Well, you own the home, you're renting the lot. When did, Mr. Commandant, can you tell me when the last payment was made?
It looks like there was a payment made July 5, and that payment was reversed for insufficient funds. And then there was another payment made on July 7, and that payment was also reversed for insufficient funds. The last payment that actually went through and was successful was June 5 of 2025. That payment was in the amount of $488.05, and it brought the balance of Ms. Lynch's account down to $0, and that was the last time that the account balance was at 0.
So they were paid through June, and then everything is since July. Miss Lynch, why did you stop paying after July?
I was having issues with Mr. Valancourt and I, and so I did not have his help with the rent in July. And then in August, I didn't get all of my check, and he was not back in the home yet. And since then, I've just been struggling to try to keep up.
All right, well, she left and he left. So that's where this stuff comes from. Now, I don't know whether Keystone's going to give you some help. The way they did this, it would give them the authority to remove your trailer. You don't have to move out of it, but it would give them the authority to move the trailer, which is unrealistic because A, I don't know whether it can even be moved, and B, there isn't anywhere to move it to, and C, it costs thousands of dollars to remove a trailer. I just did one. I ordered that. I haven't seen what's going to happen with it. It's the first time it's actually come to a writ of eviction. But you don't have to move out. They have to move your trailer just with you in it. You're asking for some financial assistance. At some point, I'm going to give you what's called a judgment, which will have a dollar amount on it. And maybe that will convince DHS to help you with your rent. Mr. Valancourt needs to step up and help you pay the unpaid rent so you can maintain your home.
Mr. Middleton, I have just what I owe that you settled with outside of court, and then that's it. And I really do try to help with the financial difficulties. What is it?
All right, well, let's address this further. Mr. Commandant, thank you for coming back. I lost your manager and I didn't call her.
We've called to try to make payment arrangements with them in August, and they refused.
They wanted $600. They wanted $125.
They refused the arrangement we were trying to make with them.
Well, they have to accept payment. This isn't a termination of tenancy case. So if you've offered, now you can offer a payment agreement and they'll say, wait a minute, we don't want to do that. But if you offer and tender money, they have to accept it.
The reason the payment was reversed was because it was $2 short. And I have somebody that helped me file for that payment, and they put in the $2 and it didn't accept it for some reason. I think it was short like 50 cents or something like that at that point.
All the payments are done through an online portal, so I'm not, it's not clear to me how a payment would be reversed by the landlord system. It seems to me that it would be due to insufficient funds, but I don't know that the landlord system rejects them.
All right, well, we got some issues to deal with. I want you to share this information with DHS and Neighborhoods Inc. Hopefully you can get some money to get caught up on your rent. But we're still going to be in the month of November. Of course, next month we'll be in in
December.
December. I asked this to a tenant who was here on a traffic case this morning who lives there. I'll ask you, how's your water?
Horrible.
She said the same thing, exact same word.
It's brown.
Just a minute. How's your sewer and septic?
It's we have the smell comes up our drains quite a bit.
And
She said the same thing there.
sometimes don't.
And we get
This is
charged.
not about those things. This is just, I'm inquisitive and I asked that lady. Everyone says,
we get charged
all right.
$12 for a water test every month.
Yes, they test the water at the wellhead. They don't test it at the individual trailers. And the pipes in the trailers and maybe from the well to the trailers are not in very good shape. So the water at the wellhead is good. I haven't seen a test of anybody's water out of their tap. But
Your Honor, I do believe that they tested out of one of the unit's taps. And it also is tested, it's disconnected right where it goes into the trailer, as my understanding. And like I said last time, they flushed all that out last year, and they do it regularly.
Well, good.
The service lines between the well and the connection into the actual homes themselves.
All right, well, that's outside the purview of this, but all right. Well,
September 9th, I filed for a work maintenance order to be done because my main shutoff valve is pretty much broken and I cannot repair some of my inside lines that I need to fix because I need to shut off my main, and nothing has been done about that either since.
All right, Mr. Cromendike, would you look into that also?
I will.
All right.
When did you say you filed that, Ms. Lynch?
I believe it was the night of September. I'm not for certain. It was somewhere around there. So I made the request to let you guys know that Christina was gone, and both of those things have been left open.
All right, well, they don't need to know Christina is gone. You're just renting the lot. So it doesn't matter how many people are in there, but next week, I don't want you to show up late. If you show up late, I'm going to default you. We'll have a hearing, and if you're not here for it, then we're gonna do it without you. This backed us up for our whole afternoon. So make sure you're here on time. It'll be 2:20 next Monday, the 10th of November. Thank you for coming back, Mr. Cromendike.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right, Ms. Lentz, I'm gonna remove you. Ms. Dutka is not here. This was set for 1:40. This is entitled Samantha Troyer versus Amy Dutka. It's filed as a termination of tenancy matter for a property here on Clark Street in Centerville. Ms. Dutka was personally served and she is not here. Ms. Troyer, is she still there?
Yes, Your Honor, she is.
I think we had a previous case where you moved to terminate the tenancy, and I'm not sure what happened, but it wasn't terminated. She is not here and she's subject to default.
I know we had original court on Friday, but they said there was a scheduling conflict, so it was moved to today.
Oh, I had a
first.
I had a doctor's appointment.
Yeah.
For this.
Oh.
About as dumb as it can get, but even judges are at the mercy of doctors. When a doctor sets an appointment at a hospital, you have to go then. So I had to cancel everything. And all right, she has 10 days from today to move out. That would be October 13th. No money judgment is entered. I'll ask the clerk to make a judgment.
Thank you.
Now, the way that works, if she doesn't move by the 15th, you can come in on the 16th and ask for a writ of eviction. Your lease is pretty good. It isn't 100% good, but it's a lot better than what the other people had, which was something they wrote on the back of a napkin. You got this off the Michigan residential lease, the sample lease, so it's pretty good. She's subject to eviction after November 13th. Getting the right month here. All right, I'll have the clerk prepare a judgment and send a copy.
Thank you.
All right, thank you for your patience.
Of course. Have a good day.
Thank you. All right. That file got double clipped. All right, Ms. Yancey, let's take yours. I've got a couple people sideways on Nokia X100. Who am I speaking with? What's your name?
Corey Wiederman.
What's your name?
Corey Wiederman.
I've got I don't have a case that matches that. I have David Fusion and Stephanie Shank. And I have Cody Schatzow and Selena Hailey. Mr. Weaver will come back to you in a minute. Jordan, could you join me, please? Thank you. All right, I'm skipping ahead to clear the decks for our next two very difficult cases. I'm going to call V Squared versus Cody Schatzow and Selena Hailey. They were present last time. We made a finding that the rent was $3,468. If we added November, it was another $1,040 for a total of $5,489 plus late fees, a total of $4,588.59. I have the accounting sheet from last week. They're not present. Ms. Harden, what's the current status?
Thank you, Your Honor. I'm just pulling up the summary sheet now. I believe the only addition would be the month of November's rent as well as late fee and pet fee. But I know our office did provide an updated sheet, so let me pull that one.
Oh, here it is, 11/3. These numbers are current as to today, and thank you. It speeds the cumbersome process up. I would note Carissa Finneman-Rarick, one of the principals of the company, is there. I did go back there last week again and look at it. And there's 9 units, not 12 or something. It's the original 9. Ms. Rarick, as far as you know, are they still there?
Yes, they are.
All right, Ms. Yancey has provided me with this breakdown. September rent, October rent, November rent, late fees. There's also a water fee and some dogs, which is $1,200, and court costs are $263.89. So if we add that all up, we get $4,583.89. 10 days from today is November 13th. Jordan, this makes my life so much easier. All right, by default, the defendants are not here. They were here last week. They clearly knew about this date, and they're subject to eviction on or after November 13th. All right. Thank you. Is there any more we need to do on that one?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Christine Yancey is here on V Square Adventures versus David Fusion and Stephanie Shank. Is anyone here on behalf of David Fusion and Stephanie Shank? We had service by attachment last time. They were not here and they're not here now. They failed to appear last time and they failed to appear here. They're subject to default. Rent is $3,120 through November, $480 and late and dog fees, or maybe that's all late. Let's take a look. The water bill is the $480. $263.89 and cost for a total of $3,863.89 due by November 13th through the month of November. Thank you, Ms. Yancey. Anything else we need to do on this one?
No, Your Honor, other than it was by attachment on Stephanie Shank, but actually David Fusion was actually personally served by Southwest Legal.
Yeah, we talked about that last week and I
Yes,
made you
we
come
did.
back again rather than evict one party rather than. So if we
Correct,
do a
correct.
second mailing on these, it'll take care of that problem.
All right, perfect. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. And thank you, Ms. Rarick.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Carissa.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Ms. Richmond.
Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm just swimming with barely my head above water, but I'm still swimming. All right, we were here last week and we determined that rent was $662.15, $194.41 in costs. They were working on a plan to get caught up. They're not here now.
Yes.
Um,
I called. They paid up today
Okay,
through November. And they told me they wanted me to appear here and tell you that.
so the case will be dismissed.
Yes, sir.
Very good.
I like those outcomes.
Yes, they're the best kind. All right, very good. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. Just a .8. Consent order for conditional dismissal was signed on 8/10/28. So Mr. Weiderman, you're good to go.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, this is an unpleasant return to August Crimmis versus Dominique Hirschberger and Melinda Wilson. Good afternoon. Melinda Wilson is here present at the courthouse. And Dr. Crimmis is there with his lawyer out in the wilderness. And Mr. Boersma's office looks like the Porcupine Mountains or something, but
Isle Royal, you are.
Isle Royal, well, I wasn't too far off.
No.
All right. Which case are you folks here on? Oh, yes, you've been waiting patiently all afternoon. As you can see, I got my hands full. We'll try to do that one early in the process. Attorney Megan Bauer from Meg Bauer is here on behalf of the defendant. This case was subject to a conditional order of dismissal, and there was an issue about joining a co-defendant. And frankly, I'm not even exactly clear what is going on today. I looked at these pleadings on Friday. I looked at them again this morning. And Mr. Boersma, let me defer to you. What's our status here?
Yeah. Thank you, Your Honor. After our last hearing on August 8, I received a letter from Ms. Bauer with information regarding the whereabouts of Mr. Hirschberger. I received that letter on or about September 24, 2025. On that date, I filed an amended complaint at the courthouse and sent it via registered mail, return receipt to the address Ms. Bauer provided. I have yet to get a response from the U.S. Post Office, either in the form of returned, letter or a returned signed receipt. So basically, plaintiff is asking for 30 days to do personal service on Mr. Hirschberger. We do have a dismissal for Miss Wilson already teed up. So as soon as we have service, all it needs is a signature from counsel, and we'll get Miss Wilson out of this case. So that's
All right, well, if I'd known that what it was, I would have done this a long time ago. I thought we were gonna arm wrestle right-handed and left-handed to get the train back on the track regarding Ms. Wilson. So you're asking for an additional 30 days to get personal service on Mr. Hirschberger, and then expect, if that is accomplished, you would file the dismissal as to Ms. Wilson.
That's correct, Your Honor. As soon as we have service on Mr. Hirschberger, we're going to circulate the dismissal letter and get over to the court. So
I'll just indicate, I sent a signed stipulated dismissal inclusive with my enclosure, as an enclosure in my letter on September 24th.
Yes.
And we certainly would have stipulated to an adjournment. I did place a phone call to Mr. Boersma last week seeking a status update. I've also indicated that if our assistance is necessary to facilitate getting Mr. Hirschberger served, we would cooperate, and that we would help with a request for alternative service.
Well, he's in Indiana, correct?
That is correct.
That always complicates things. Oh, Mr. Boersma, I apologize again. I thought this was more of a battle, as you saw how things transpired.
Yes, sir.
People showed up late, and then things were more complicated than they were supposed to be. So we did the best we could. All right, I don't certainly have any objection to adjourning this, and I'm sure the defendant doesn't either. Maybe because all the postal workers are not being paid, no one's delivering any mail or processing anything in the processing center. I'm not being facetious. I don't know what the status of the mail is. Today is November 13th.
November 3, Your Honor.
3rd, yeah, the 13th was my eviction day. So are you willing to go all the way into January?
If that's the next good court date for you, yes.
I've got dates in December. I just didn't know if those would work for you.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, Ms. Bauer is good to work with. So I mean, I have every confidence that once we have this done, it's we'll have we won't need a return. So
well, I'll use a target date of December 29.
That works. Yep.
At 2 o'clock. And expecting that the case to be dismissed.
Judge, should our appearance be necessary, the court would accept a virtual appearance. Ms.
Zoom's appropriate, is available.
Ms. Wilson may have medical complications in between.
Well, let's hope not. All right. I know you guys work well together, and this has been a long path on this case. All right. We'll continue this to November 29th. at 2 o'clock and hope we don't have to hear it.
I'm sorry, Judge, November or December?
December. Boy, I've been screwing my dates up all day today.
Okay.
November 3rd, November 13th, December 29. I said October a few times.
Okay.
I don't know if it was a human or a bot, but somebody posted, Judge Middleton seems to be losing it. He can't keep his date straight. So I may be losing it. All right, but
Just to confirm, Your Honor, for my notes, December 29 at 2 p.m., correct?
correct.
Okay, we'll have a,
Send out a notice.
yeah, I'll send out a notice. So,
All right, thank you.
thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.